Welcome back to the Workbench, where uncut and unedited, you can watch me, a guy, try to make something. And in this case, I'm going to try making the McLaren M8B. It's a 1/24 scale Can-Am car from McLaren by Accurate Miniatures. I've actually had this for quite a while, and I've been anxious to get it going. But my airbrush has been down. But I finally got my airbrush setup back up and running because I want to do this as perfect as I can. I want to make it look like basically it just came off of a museum room floor, like right off of the museum floor. So it's going to be perfect and pristine. And so that means I want to airbrush everything. I don't want to hand brush anything. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started on this. I'm going to go just start off by opening and see what we've got. I have actually previously opened this just to make sure everything was here, which it was. Now I bought this sealed, so I expected it to be all here. It has quite the book of instructions. I've looked through it, and what's great about this is it actually gives just tons, not only of direction on what to do, but it gives history on the car and what the parts are and all that kind of stuff, which is great. So let's go ahead and just get everything out of the box if we can. So everything's molded in white. Even the bottom of the box is super cool. It's got like a cutaway view of the car. And then underneath is where we've got rubber pieces, our clear pieces, tires, and our decals. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull all this out so we have it ready to go. I'll set the box aside. But again, take one more look at that. How cool is this to have this kind of cutaway drawing of the car? It's just, I don't know. I find that really cool. But so far, I have never, just so you know, I've never built anything by Accurate Miniatures. But so far, I am very impressed just with what I've seen. These are actually rubber pieces. You can see they're very bendable. That's probably loud in the microphone. Sorry about that. The plastic. But I just wanted to show that those are very flexible. They're not plastic. They're actually, well, I don't know what they're actually made of, but they're kind of rubberized, if that makes sense. But let's go ahead and start flipping through our instructions so we can get started. We've got important stuff, obviously, here. Y'all can pause. If you want to read all this, go right ahead. You know me. I don't read. Do we really need to read? We've got pictures. We've got pictures. Now, actually, I am going to read these because I want to make sure we do this right. So it says the vinyl included in this kit represents every major oil gas. So they're calling it's vinyl. So there we go. We already answered the question. So these are vinyl parts, which I think I'm going to go ahead. Well, we'll see what parts we actually need. But what does it say? Material is easy to put in proper position. We strongly recommend to use CA glue to hold the lines in place. In addition, this process is made easier and faster by the use of a cyanoacrylic accelerator. So CA glue and accelerator, which I have right up here. Where did I put it? Here and here. Sorry, excuse me. Here we go. So I've got my accelerator. I've got, well, the labels come off, but this is our Starbond. This is medium viscosity. I've actually got thin viscosity and thick viscosity up there too. And of course, keep in mind, if you want some good CA glue, some good Starbond CA glue, down in the description, there's actually a discount you can use. So hit that up. Plus, it supports me if you want to do that also. But let's go ahead and start pulling our parts out here. So we've got, we've got parts from all different places. I'm assuming the motor parts are probably all together. Here we go. So let's open this one up and move this plastic a little bit away from, don't do this with your teeth. Really bad. Oh, yeah. Well, don't do that. But I'm going to move the plastic away. Hopefully it won't be as loud as I'm ripping it. Try to move it away from the microphone, that is. Get these out. And I've already dropped them. Okay, hold on just a second. I'll be right back. And here we go. All right, we got all those parts out. I don't think we're going to be needing. I saw the engine block, which is here, which we definitely need. So I think what we'll do, we're going to go ahead and start clipping this. Does it tell us what, how does it tell us the color that any of this gets? You know, we've got literally step-by-step instructions here. Before you even actually examine, you must first remove the engine cover support from the rear of the engine block halves using illustration above as a guide. Glue them together. Okay. Where does it tell us paint colors? I know it does somewhere. It literally here. Okay, engine block is semi-gloss black. Bell housing and transaxle is dark aluminum. So that back side will be dark aluminum, semi-gloss black, semi-gloss black. Okay, so I think we can, well, I know we can go ahead and get the engine block put together. I'll probably paint it semi-gloss black, and then we'll do the transaxle on its own. What is this here? Is this does that belong on there? I can't, it has to, but I don't see it in the drawings. Well, we'll look at that. I'm gonna snip it here. Yeah, what I'm talking about is it has this guy sticking up here. I don't think that actually belongs. No. I mean, it's not in the drawing. I guess that's just, yeah, I think it comes off. So let's get rid of it. I mean, it's not in the drawing there, so I'm going to assume it doesn't belong. It's just a support in the mold process. All right. So step one, we glue these things together. Then we'll have to, I think what I'll do is I'll glue it together, and then I'm gonna clean up all that stuff we just had there. What'd I do? Here we are. Here's my glue for this. I'm just using Tamiya extra thin cement. I will hold this together and then glue it together. So let's just hold it like so, and then I'm gonna run glue just down the seam here. Somehow I got my brush dirty at some point. Yeah, so I'm going to glue this together, and then we've got a bunch of stuff we need to clean up because we make sure these pieces are nice and clean and pretty before we paint. I'm hoping we can basically put this entire assembly together. I'm hoping. I want to keep, it color accurate too, but I like to put as much together. Oh, it does. This is where reading helps. There's the piece I was just here. Let me show you. There's the piece I was just talking about. Remove, cut. Okay, yeah, got it. If we just, that's for reading. I mean, it does. There's a reason why you learn how to read in school. It really does come and help and it's useful in everyday life and in model building. So let's get this nice and glued up. Now let's see what else so next we're going to have E81 and E82. E81, E82. What are those? Oh, that's the stacks. I'm sure they're like Weber carbs or something. They're semi-gloss black, so the intake, and the carburetors can go on. Then we have, so the heads are semi-gloss black, so they can go on. I'm assuming the valve covers, no, they're semi-gloss black too. So basically everything is going to be semi-gloss black, so that's good. Whereas, let me find, what did I just say? E82. Oh, I think I see him right here. Yeah, here's the E81, E82. So let's go, while that's gluing up, we'll get these clipped off. There's the heads too, also. So these are, some kind of downdraft carburetors. I was reading these cars. I don't know if anybody ever watched Can-Am racing back in the day. I was young, but I remember watching some with my dad, and nuts. Basically, kind of a division of racing, which I don't really think even exists anymore, but basically it was a division of racing, or a racing league, we should say, that basically had no rules. It was very limited in rules. I'd have to look them up, but it was very limited. It was basically just make a car that can go as fast as it can and then go around, a course. And they were fast. They were insanely fast. And I just remember they would run them on the edge so much that a lot of times it was just a battle of attrition. So it was kind of who could just finish the race. I'm going to clean up some of this, some of the extra sprue that's left behind. I found the easiest way is just to use the edge of your X-Acto to just kind of plane it down nice and smooth. Very simply. And then I'm going to check the rest, like right here. There's just a hair bit of flashing. So far, these molds are actually very good. Just a hair bit of flashing right there. I'm going to remove off of there just to make sure this glues up and sits well. I'm going to do each one of these pieces. But I used to watch it with my dad, and it was nuts. And it was essentially, because this is, I don't know, what year is this? We ought to look and see what year this car is. Does it say, this had to be like late 70s, early 80s? I'm assuming, does it say somewhere? We'll have to figure that out. This is 66. So late 60s. So this goes even back. Officials created it says 66 North America racing officials created the most awesome series of races ever witnessed. I agree. Group 7 cars would race in a Can-Am challenge. There you go. It was to be an anything goes class. Here we go. Yeah. An anything goes class that allowed engines of any size and configurations, wings, ultra wide tires, four-wheel drive and trick aerodynamic devices, blah, blah, blah. But it was of the day. So the way you make, it had to be the 60s. Things are carbureted. Well, I don't know why I was thinking, but I know I watched it as a child. Maybe my dad and I were watching replays. Maybe I watched re-airings of the races. I don't know, because I know the series didn't last long, so I must have watched re-airings like on Worldwide Sports or something. I don't know. Anyways, I just remember anything went. So the whole thing was just put the biggest motor possible in a car, and then they would run them on the ragged edge. So they were loud as sin. I mean, I just remember even across TV, you could just hear how loud they were, because they were just these ginormous motors. I'm not even sure what this, does it say somewhere? We'll have to see. Not so little engine that could. Here we go. The engines that powered the McLarens were simply the very efficient, massive horsepower and torque provided by these big block 7 liters. So it's 7 liter, was that a 454, right? 460, whatever it is. Aluminum power plants made the 1,500 pound. The car weighed 1,500 pounds. The car was the weight of a heavy Harley Davidson. So it had this big block and a 1,500 pound car, a little more than a way to strap an engine to a driver's back. That's about the truth. Conventional carburetors were shunned because they were not capable of delivering instantaneous power. So the fuel system became Lucas Fuel. Oh, it's just fuel injection. Nice. Okay, Lucas Fuel Injection. The first choice of drag racing set. This configuration produced an engine capable of delivering 635 to 690 horsepower, which was a ton back then. And who knows what the torque was. A combination that literally tried to twist the engine around itself. Broken crankshafts were common. Wow. Power to weight ratios in the area of 1 horsepower for every 2 1/2, so 2.5 pounds weight spelled trouble for any foolish enough to misuse the throttle. Hardly any car produced today can match the performance of this antique. Yeah, I mean, it was just insane horsepower to weight ratios. And I just remember they just broke all the time because they were just, this is old. It has fuel injection, which I didn't realize. I was thinking it was, they were like some kind of downdraft carburation, but it's downdraft fuel injection, like old school fuel injection. Let me see if I can clean this up real quick too. And then, well, I don't even know what I was saying, but I just remember they would break all the time, and just loud. I just remember on the TV, they were super loud and huge tires for the day, I guess. I mean, Formula One today has gone back to, a ground effects car with a lot of mechanical grip. So they have big fat tires again too. But yeah, I miss the old days of race cars. I miss the old days of Formula One with the V12s and just the amazing sounds that they made. I'm just trying to work these seams down. Now that it's kind of glued up, I just want to work them down a little bit smoother. I think there's not. So this we need to get the bottom of this motor nice and smooth because there's not going to be a pan that goes on here. Obviously up here we've got the fuel injection that's going to go here, and then the blocks or the heads are going to go here, which way they go. I guess they go this way. Yeah, and then these guys sit in here, so it'll kind of cover up that seam. I just want to make sure this seam is smooth so everything fits flat. So it's more about fitment than appearance. But this side down here, I want to smooth it out because it's going to be a painted surface, I believe. Now, I'm sure there's going to be framework. I'm sure there's going to be a tough kind of a ton of stuff kind of masking this. But you still want to make it as best you can, even surfaces that you don't think are going to be seen, because you never know. You take that little extra step, and that's what makes the difference, in my opinion. In model building, is just that little extra step. But I think that's going to be okay. I want to get these mold lines out of the transaxle. Okay, and I'll do that on my own time. What I want to do now is, let's go ahead and glue up the heads. Now I want to try to, give me a second to wipe that all off. Okay, I want to go ahead and try to get the heads. By the way, if you see me look up this way, I'm looking at my monitor on my down camera. I want to make sure that I'm in frame. A lot of times I'll wander over here, and so I got to make sure that I'm back over in the middle of frame. So I think let's see. I always like to try to dry fit this stuff. Okay, these go forward of the motor. So this one, you know, I probably should have not. I should have done. These are actually different. One's E81 and one's E82. I probably should have kept track of which is which. Is also. Does that go? Yeah, those I think go there. So I should probably. Whoops! I get the chit chat and then I. Which one is which? They're gonna. Oh, they have to go. Oh, I see. They're gonna have to go this way. I see. There's actual pegs in there. Okay, so it has to go that way, and then that's to the front. I'd like those to fit a little tighter than that. That's kind of giving a seam down the middle because this should be. I'm assuming this would be a solid intake. There wouldn't be a seam down the middle of it like that. But I think what I'll do, I'm going to go ahead and let me put. Because I want to put these together at the same time, the intake and the heads, because they all kind of line up on each other. So what's going to be the easiest way to do this? What I think I'll do, of course, these heads, the heads are the same. So it doesn't matter which one goes which side. Now I want to, you got to put them on the right way though. And I think I'm going to glue them. I'm trying to think the best way I want to glue these. I think I'll use some CA. If I can get the lid off of my CA, I think I've glued the lid to my CA glue, which is a normal thing for me to do. Get off of there. Urgh. I might have to grab a different one. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've destroyed that. Okay, so let's set that CA glue aside. I've got a bottle of thick CA, which will probably be good anyways, because what I think I'm going to do is put just a touch right here on these little tabs. I'm going to use my CA glue just like so. Now, I'm not going to use accelerant, I don't think, for this, because I'd like to be able to move these around a little bit if I need to. And with the thick CA glue, it actually gives you a little bit of time. I am going to make sure we got that. Whoops. Make sure we've got actual glue contact. And what I'll usually do is get these in place, and then I'll come back with the Tamiya stuff. I must use this, the way I look at it is I must use this as like a tack weld. And then I'll come back with the cement, the plastic cement, and kind of do the final weld on it. Because CA glue works well, don't get me wrong. Obviously, it's super glue. But it's the bond is actually the glue itself. With plastic cement, you actually kind of weld, it actually kind of melts the plastic together a little bit. So you get I think, a little bit better bond with plastic. Now, what I need to do, you know what, I'm going to put just a touch of glue on this. Just very carefully. I don't want a bunch of glue, CA glue everywhere. And this thick stuff, man, it is tough to get out of the bottle. Right there in the little peg holes. There's little peg holes there, and there's tiny little pegs on this other side. They go together like so. Let's see if I can get that pushed together. Okay, I'm gonna hold that just a second. Let's see if I can get it to just set somewhere for me. Well, okay, just hang. Well, that is not wanting to. It's so tiny, I keep pulling it apart. I don't want it to fully set is the thing. What I want to do, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let that set right there. Now I'm going to put some glue like so. I don't want to use the thick CA glue here because it might add too much. I'm afraid it's going to add too much thickness. It's going to, I want something thin here. Now I want to make sure that these are all kind of they need to all kind of come together. See, this is wanting to push. I gotta make sure we get this. Yeah, they're not wanting to fit exactly well. This is kind of what I'm talking about. So these all have to, what am I trying to say? Fit together to make, like if you put the heads too close together, then the intake won't fit. If you put the intake too far to the left, then your one head's off to the right. I think we're pretty good right here. And I don't think that head's got glued up, but I'm going to glue it up. think that's, I'm just trying to look it over. I want to make sure our fuel injection is sticking straight up in the air. I'm going to hold this just a second to make sure that happens. I just want to make sure everything, because it'll want to push, especially 4 pieces. It's kind of interesting that they split the, I mean, I know, I get why they did it, because it makes the molding process easier and better of this, but usually you'll put a intake on in one piece, and then you put your carburation or whatever on top of that. There, I think that's holding. Now what I want to do, I think on the back side, I'm going to glue the seams. Make sure I get that done well, like so. And I think what I'll do, yeah, because we've got a big motor plate that's going to run up front. I'll do the front sides too. Sometimes you can see this glue, so that's why I try not to glue it too much in very obvious locations. But this is going to be hid by a motor plate. You can see here. I think you guys can probably see. And I'm getting low on my glue. I can't keep it. There we go. Good. Now we can also put the valve covers on, if I can find them. What were they? So let's just go in order, I guess. So that was blah, blah, blah. So now 87, 88. What is E87 and E? Why am I not seeing it? Oh, here we go. What is that? That's going to go on the back. And those are going to actually be dark aluminum, which is that the same color? That's the same color as the bell housing. So we're going to kind of cap off this back side of the bell housing. Yeah, I'm going to have to decide how I want to paint this. Yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and do that. So it's finish our E's. So E87, where is that at? Here's 87. Right here. I'm clipping everything short too, so I'm leaving sprue on there. What was it? You say 87, 88? Where's 88? 87. Where's 89? Where's 88? Am I blind? Why can I never find these things? Oh, it's this thing right here. But I snip it short, and because I don't want to over snip it, if that makes sense. And then just always come back with my X-Acto and clean it up. You know, pull the rest of that off that I snipped. Make sure it's nice and clean. And then I always check the seams around, which these are really nice. Like that's a good mold right there. Where were the extra bits on this one? Right here. And it's usually real easy to just clean them up. Where was the other spot? Did I get it snipped that well? Can't even see it. But I'm gonna clean up right here. I think that looks pretty good. So now what we need to do, it looks like, is this is going to go here for the kind of cap the back end of this thing, which does not want to fit in there for some reason. We can make it fit, I guess. Yeah, it is not wanting to fit. So what I think I'll do, yeah, that does not want to fit. Basically, there's a you know, it needs to, I am doing it the right way, aren't it? Yes. I think I'm going to have to clear out some of one of these sides, and I'll do it with my X-Acto. Like so. Just kind of add a little bit more space there. Not too much. I don't want to make this all loose and wobbly. I want it to fit in there nice and tight. Just like that. That's all it took. And now we fit. So let me go ahead. I always try to think about how I want to glue these things. I think I'll just drop some glue right on the front surface because this fits nice and tight. So I think it'll hold itself, you know, it'll hold itself tight in there and let the glue cure. Well, if I can get it to fit again. There it went. Yeah, I just took that little bit of trimming, you know, it's basically get a little bit of flashing off of there. Now it fits nicely. And then this goes this way, and we've got 2 different size pegs, so it's only one way it'll fit, which is nice. It's going to go right there like so. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm just going to drop a little bit of just a boop. Just drops into these holes here, and just right across in between them. because really your glue up surface will be more the flat surface, not the pegs necessarily. Now the pegs will, because these fit nice and tight, they will glue. But a lot of times the pegs aren't super tight, and so it's you want to make sure you glue up your flat surface. I'm going to hold that kind of tight just for a second, and then we're starting to get a bit of a structure. In fact, let's just see what's next. Oh, so B32 is orange. So that we're gonna. Oh, that's our oil filter. So we'll leave that off. You know what? I should have grabbed a highlighter. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll highlight that because I'll know I need to put it on. I think I'll do that. I'll make sure and bring a highlighter and do that. But we have more semi-gloss black, so that we can put in, which is looks like our starter. So B33. So while this glues up, let's find B30. Oh, that's a what's B? That's E. Where's it? I'm gonna set these over here. Uh-oh. Why is it not telling me what these are? Oh, that's F. You got to kind of learn the model as you go. That's A. So I think I'm gonna have to open another bag. So let me move away here. Look away. You're not gonna see this. Where is B? You think B would be right in the same one where we need it? It would be in the same one as A, but apparently not. Where are the labels on these things? D, C. Where's B? Is it not? I mean, that's just the body. Yeah. Is it one of these? Let's go ahead and open these, I guess. Look away again. Why would the starter be a vinyl part? I don't think that's... That's G. Black is G. How am I missing? Black is G. Silver is H. So no, definitely not. Not a clear part. Is it? Well, I don't know why it would be a clear part. How am I missing? What have I done here? Let me double check this. Where is it show me? That's F. Is there maybe multiple? So that's E. It's like A. This is A. Oh goodness, we might have a problem here. That's A. Are there two? Oh, you know what? These might be different. Let me see. That's C. And that's B. These are two different things. Okay. Sorry, my fault. So we've got C's over here and B's over here. So what do I need? Well, that was fun. What was that? B33, I think it is. Yeah, B33. That's 32. So it's got to be around right 33 right there. Here's the starter. Okay, I think we'll get the starter glued up. I think we'll look through what else we can get done. Okay, let's throw that over there out of the way. That frustration's over with. That's one of the first things you end up doing with a model kit, I guess, really, is you kind of learn the lay of the land. Like the fact that, those two different, the A's and B's were kind of on the same tree, but they're split in half. That's part of the game, I guess, part of the deal. Let me get these mold lines. I want to get the mold lines off this starter, what I'm assuming is the starter. Looks like a starter. And it's going to go, I don't know. Where does that go? That's hard to tell. Where does it want me to put this? I mean, it's showing it go right in here somewhere. I really don't know. Oh, that's not good. Okay, let me look down here. Glue the oil. That's oil. Glue the starter B33 to the right side of the engine block and the bell housing. The tapered end of the starter glues to the bell housing with the starter solenoid pointing upwards. Okay, I've got that, but where exactly? I'm not sure exactly where they want me to put this. Just anywhere? Does it just go here? Is there a picture somewhere? I mean, it's going to be, again, behind this. Yeah, it's going to be, wow, you can't even see it anywhere in any of the drawings because it's going to be behind, this needs to come off too. There's some flashing right here. And a little bit of a mold. So I think, let me hold off on this. I'll figure it out. And let's take a quick look because we're about out of time. Let's take, so gloss black, 111, 112. Yeah, that's the valve cover. So those are going to be gloss black. So D58 is that, which that's, okay, that we're not going to do up anyways. Vinyl, do not paint hoses. G144. Where is 144? What is 144? Oh, that's more hoses. Yeah. And then we have aluminum pulleys with flat black belts. That's these. So those go on the outside of that. So basically what I need to do is just get the starter on here. And I think from what I can tell, it literally just goes right here from what I can tell. Just on, it said on the, on the right side of the engine block and the bell housing. Glue the starter to the right side, which is this side, the, passenger side or the drinker side as it is called sometimes. But you know what I need to do? I think I need to clip this. Before we go, let's clip this out, which is right here. And let's see how that's going to fit. How that's going to force the starter to fit. Because this guy is going to go here. So this basically has the water pump and whatnot with it. And that's what fits in those little notches, I'm assuming. So if I put the starter there, what? I'm very confused where this starter's supposed to go. Because this mounts there. Yeah, I'm a little dumbfounded on where. Oh no, he goes way back here. Kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense it would go back where they. Kind of makes sense it goes on the bell housing. Okay, so just ignore all the last of that. Yeah, it kind of needs to be where the flywheel is located. I don't know why I overthink these things. So it goes right back here. Okay. Let me glue that in place, because once that's glued in place, I know y'all are screaming down in the comment section right now, or I don't know, go ahead and do that, please. Scream in the comment section. It does actually help. Leave me those comments if you would, too. I thank you for joining me today. I really do, especially if you've made it this far. I'm going to let that sit and glue, because that's where that goes. There's a little indentation for it and everything. Kind of makes sense. What I'm going to do in between episodes, I'm going to go ahead and glue this up. Glue it up. I'm going to paint this up. I'm going to go ahead and paint. Basically, the block forward is just black, apparently, and the transaxle back is dark aluminum. So a dark aluminum color. I might have to mix something for that. I might actually film those via YouTube Shorts, me actually painting them. So all the painting and that kind of stuff, you can probably, I'll show over in YouTube Shorts. I also want to go ahead and clip these parts. I'm going to get everything clipped and arranged. So when we come back tomorrow, and painted. So I'm going to clip these, get them all painted. So tomorrow we can actually fully assemble the motor transaxle assembly. And then I'll probably also go ahead and get this stuff for step 2 taken care of and ready, so we can also get step 2 done, so we can kind of keep this moving forward. But I'll do those in between episodes. Our starter's already glued up, so let me do that. I thank you for, like I said, I thank you for joining me. Oh, I need to get the valve covers on here too, but I'll do that. I'll glue the valve covers on, get this all painted up, and yeah, that looks okay, I guess. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Leave me a comment down below. Yell at me about where a starter mounts. I don't know how a Can-Am car worked. I don't know how the motor worked. The starter could have gone. It had a little shaft. I don't. Anyways, yell at me down in the comments. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to keep up with this build. Thanks for joining me. Do all those things you do on YouTube, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.